master and commander, Horatio Hornblower. These words evoke the daring maverick captain commanding a nimble frigate alone on the high seas for months at a time, taking prizes and outwitting larger enemies. In the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the best ship for living out your master and commander fantasies is by far the Dauntless light cruiser. Why did I pick the Dauntless to be my next ship in the Ships of Battlefleet Gothic series? Well, because it's both the first ship you get in the skirmish and single-player campaign modes, and because of the ship's storied history. As always, the art, terminology, trademarks, game footage, and existing content are the intellectual property of Games Workshop, Dauntless Interactive, and other copyright holders. And with this disclaimer out of the way, let's look at the Dauntless and the Dauntless Mark II light cruisers. The Dauntless and the Dauntless Mark II light cruisers that you can see in the picture here are a popular and important ship in the Imperial Navy, despite their smaller size and firepower. They carry enough armaments and armor to scare off or destroy escort ships, while their prow, lances, or torpedoes can pose a threat to heavier ships. The Dauntless is a popular ship with ambitious captains, as these light cruisers often operate alone on patrols or raiding. These missions provide more opportunities for ambitious maverick captains to take prizes and gain glory than serving on heavier ships or escort ships. The Dauntless light cruiser that you can see in the upper right-hand corner is 4.5 kilometers long, 0.5 kilometers abeam at fins. It displaces 20 megatons and carries a crew of approximately 65,000. Although it is not much smaller than a lunar-class cruiser, the Dauntless is a much sleeker ship with engines just as large as a ship of the line, making it faster and more maneuverable, so it is capable of 4.3 gravity's max sustainable acceleration. It is armed with port and starboard macro cannon batteries for short-range engagements, and prow lances for Dauntless Mark I, or torpedo tubes for the Dauntless Mark II, so it can harass at long range. One interesting note, the Dauntless light cruiser replaced the Siluria-class light cruisers sometime in the 37th millennium, although the Siluria-class light cruisers continue to serve in some of the older sectors. The Dauntless class was actually named after a grand cruiser, the Dauntless, which performed heroic deeds during the early days of the Imperium, before vanishing into the warp. The Dauntless cruisers, with their speed, toughness, and ample storage space, so that it can remain on patrol for months or even years at a time, also make it a very popular vessel with rogue traders. Sadly, captured Dauntless cruisers are also popular with orc raiders who customize them to become light cruisers or cruisers. They can also be quite popular with any pirates that manage to get their hands on one. During the Gothic War, the Dauntless light cruisers distinguished themselves as scouts, raiders, and blockade runners. During the Gothic War, the light cruisers Uziel and Baron Surtur were the first to detect War Master Kuzor's fleet near the Formosa cluster, and their accurate information allowed Admiral Sartus to bring the foe to battle and decisively crush the Chaos Flotilla once and for all. In Battlefleet Gothic's Armada's single-player campaign, you begin as a captain of a Dauntless light cruiser who spots the incoming Chaos fleet of War Master Abaddon. Some of the famous Dauntless ships of the Gothic War were the Abdiel, the Uziel, Baron Surtur, and the Guardian. And if we pan over here, we see the Dauntless Mark II cruiser with a favor of Adeptus Mechanicus, and the famous Dauntless Mark II ships of the Gothic War were the Vigilant and the Havoc. Although the Dauntless is an excellent light cruiser, I certainly hope to see the other Imperial light cruisers, the Endeavour and the Defiant classes that I have shown earlier in the video, in the game at some point. And here you can see a Dauntless Mark I cruiser in the livery of the Imperial Fists Space Marine chapter. Well, that's it for now. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of this series and which ship you'd like me to look at next. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and share, and I hope to see you in my next video.